Hello, my esteemed colleagues and admired amigos. This is Buck WSR Weezer, and I'm coming at you today with another automotive repair project. I get to introduce you today to my new car. That's right, it's a 1995 Oldsmobile 98 Regency Elite. Isn't that awesome? Just saying that is gratifying. This has the 3.8 liter 3800 GM V6, and they put this in a lot of cars. And it's got one particular issue that we're going to tackle today, replacing the upper intake manifold. Hi, Lou. So yeah, that's let me gather my tools. We'll pop the hood open and we'll work on this project today, and I'll give you more details about why we're doing this project as we get started. Yeah, so here we are. As I was saying, this car is new to me, and I'll tell you why I bought it. A number of reasons is I like driving big old cars, and it rides really smooth. It's a great ride, and this car is in good shape because though it's a 95, 24 years old, it's only got 80,000 original miles, which is what? Barely 3,000 miles per year of its life, which is like nothing. And I've got two teenage sons, so within 6 months, 6 months or a year, I'll have 2 additional drivers, and I just needed to add another vehicle to the family fleet, so I bought one for myself. So we're laid out here to do this job. I got my stuff laid out, air compressor, little shop vac, my tools are all here. And the reason that I want to and need to replace the intake manifold, the upper intake manifold, which is this guy right here. This engine was made from 95 to 2005. So GM put this 3.8 liter V6 in a lot of different cars. And it had the so this is a 95. So I've got one of the original motors here, and they put a plastic upper intake manifold on it, and that became problematic. So here are the symptoms that I've been dealing with. It's got this stumble or this hesitation. It's a misfire. I feel like I want to bring you around this way. It's a misfire, and you can feel it. It's more acute when the engine's cold, but even as it warms up, you still feel it. You know something's not right. And then the check engine light comes on. I was unable to get my code reader to connect and communicate with the computer, the car, the ECM, and so I don't know what those codes are, but I'm pretty sure I do. It's a misfire code of some sort. So I'm opening up the air cleaner. We're going to take this down here. Unplug the mass airflow sensor. We're going to take off this intake throttle body here, and so we're just talking with you as I start the dismantling process. So anyway, you get this stumble. Well, what causes that? Well, here's what happens. As this plastic degenerates over time, especially going from hot to cold, it begins to leak coolant. And that coolant will leak into one of 2 places, either into your combustion chamber, which is why I'm getting that stumble, that misfire. It also puts some white smoke out the tailpipe, and you think it's a head gasket problem. Or it will leak antifreeze coolant into your crankcase. And it will mix, the antifreeze will mix with your oil, and that'll do damage to your motor. Now, this is stuff that I learned while researching it online. I changed the oil recently. There was absolutely nothing, no evidence of oil in there in any way. So I really don't think that's a problem. But I do think that it is leaking into the combustion chamber, and that's why I'm getting that misfire. The other symptom is I saw some oil, no, not oil, antifreeze puddling on top of my engine, right down here below the fuel rail, and that to me was confirming that that's what we got going on here. So I'll remove the air box. And based on my researches online, the solution is to replace this upper intake manifold. Apparently they improved it, it's a little better. It's particularly where the exhaust gas recirculation pipe sticks up is where, because of the heat there, it tends to get compromised. So you can't just replace the gasket, you need to replace the whole manifold. And so that's in a nutshell what we're doing and why. And I feel, I'm going to say 95% confident that that's going to fix that misfire stumble that we've been dealing with. So I'm plugging some of these cables, unplug some of these air hoses, get a screwdriver to pry that a little bit. So it doesn't seem to me to be that big of a job. But you know, it's 25 years old, things get dry and brittle, so I'm going to be careful about stuff like that. Air hoses, things like that. So we're just going to take our time here and plug this all. Alright. So this I need to get off. Let me get this guy off. Okay. And I'm pretty excited about it because, you know, when you first feel that misfire and it's a little unnerving, you know that something's wrong, but you're not sure what, and you can't read whatever DTC's, diagnostic trouble codes, the engine's trying to give you because your scan tool won't communicate. Starts feeling a little worrisome. But I think those worries are behind me now. I do feel like we're making good progress here. Alright, so these are fuel lines. We're not going to disconnect them because they'll just stay connected to the fuel rail. We will remove the fuel rail from crosses over top of this, so we have to do that. But we don't have to disconnect the fuel lines per se. Alright, so there are it's like 10 millimeter nuts, 2, 3 that hold this throttle body on. So maybe I'll try to get that out of the way. See if I can get that out of the way next. Alright. This one on the top is pretty easy to get to. This bracket here is sort of in the way. I tried to bend it a little out of the way to get access to that one down there. I want to try not to drop that nut. That's just no fun. Oh, I didn't get it all the way off yet. There we go. end. The third one's down here. Again, I don't want to drop it. That one was a stud. All right, he came out, and now this guy pulls out of the way. Boy, that's pretty. It's pretty dirty. Might be worthwhile cleaning that while we have it off. I'm just going to move it out of the way right there. All right, so we are definitely making progress. We're going to unplug the whoops, a kicked you. We're going to unplug the fuel injectors, pushing that wire tab up, and then they unplug. And of course there's 3 on the back side as well. You probably won't be able to see, but you can take my word for it. So now before I bring up the fuel rail and disconnect the fuel rail and lift it out of the way, I want to take some air and maybe a shop vac and just spray out some of the debris. This is actually really clean. So that I don't want any debris falling into the engine when we open it up and release those injectors. All right, so the fuel injectors are held on 1, 2, 3, 4. They look like, yeah, 10 millimeter nuts for that. So let's give it a shot here. One here. And one here. That one was a stud, not just a nut. Keep track of that. Back here. 3. And success. There's 4 of them. Now we should be able to lift this fuel rail off if we're careful. Let's unclip this. This wire harness out of the way. It's coming. Alright, that's this front side. Alright. Another wire harness I can try to get out of the way a little bit. There it is. Okay, so fuel line's still attached. Injectors come up. Move them out of the way. So these look like 8mm bolts or nuts or screws or whatever these are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is it 9? Maybe there's one down there that I don't see. Got sunglasses on and I'm in the shade, so I hope you can see what I'm doing. So let's yeah, these are 8s. So we'll pull out an 8mm socket if I can find one. Alright, so when you're installing a new one, there's a very specific torque sequence and pattern and schedule, but moving the old one, I don't feel any real need to do anything, but loosen them and get them out of here. You know? That's how I feel about it. See if we can get a little help here. Uno. Now that one's longer, so we gotta keep straight which ones went where. So maybe I'll lay them out here on the front of the engine housing in a way that it'll be obvious. And maybe it would be obvious. I mean, a short one certainly wouldn't fit in there. That's clearly a deeper one. So those 5 are out and those are all the same. So let's take a look around the back. Which again, you're probably not going to be able to see, but I didn't disconnect the battery, so I'm kind of being real careful right there. All right, who managed? Okay, that's 3 across the back. There's one here. Now this looks like a 10mm stud actually that holds this bracket shield. Goes around the EGR valve. But that looks like a 10mm. Nut comes off that stud. But I gotta remove this bracket entirely, and it bolts down here. I don't know if that's a 10 or an 8. It must be an 8. I know you can't see, but doesn't make that much difference. Bracket comes off. Just a shield. And I'm going to stick that guy back down in there just loosely so I know which screw goes in there. Alright. Now okay, so now I gotta get this 10mm off here. The bracket was on top of that. And this looks like it's a stud that's coming out there. So we keep that all straight right there. Alright, I think we got it. There's a brake booster line that plugs into the back here, and got to disconnect that. Trying to figure out how that works. Looks like it just snaps in there. You squeeze the tabs. I know you can't see. Look, bring you around. Relax. Not that big a deal, right? I heard you screaming. Alright, you're not going to be able to see it unless I take you off, right? Brake booster line plugs in right there, you see it? So you squeeze those tabs and pull that out. And then I think that's it. I think the rest of this will be ready to come up. So let me see if I can unplug that. And then we shall together remove the intake. Manifold VUIM. The upper intake manifold. Of course I can't see. Got sunglasses on. If I remove them, that will help. This side came loose. Can't see it, people. All right, I got it. There, see right there? That's it. All right. feel like down this end I got to do something with that PCV valve. Right there on the corner. You know what I might need to do is just remove this cable, because he's just in the way from the alternator. I'll do that and we'll be right back for the big removal. Alright, this looks like the other crankcase ventilation. Sure this is in there really. That. Comes out like that. Okay. All right. Ah, there's one more guy down there. I thought there were 10, right? All right, see if I can grab him with a magnet. My magnet don't fit down there. All right, just see if we can pull it off. All right, wires in the way. This is it, we're getting it off. And he's done, he's out of there, that's it. Oh boy, I just turned it over and dropped that bolt. There it is, I got it. Relax, don't worry, it's all fine. It's good, wonderful. Yeah, okay. So there's a look at the other one. I don't know if you can even... It's right here where it tends to get compromised, because that's where the EGR tube pops through, and that does look pretty worn in there. Well, it doesn't really matter. I don't need to examine this one that closely. We know it's bad. We know we have a new one. We know we're putting the new one on. That's what matters. Okay, here's the new upper intake manifold right here. And what I want to do is, when it comes to torquing this down, there's a very specific sequence that they've outlined for us right here. So we'll refer back to that. What I want to do is transfer over here to the new manifold, the positive crankcase ventilation valve. She goes in here like so. And this tube runs under here. Got two of them. Are these identical? They look identical. Flexible as it should be. She's supposed to clip right in there. But it keeps popping out. She is clipped in down here. That one's alright, but this one's not. It's probably not that big a deal, because even if it's up like that, as long as we're still connected down here, alright, I'll figure something out. It's no big deal. Then we can soften this pipe up and just bend it a little bit. Alright, so I'm looking at the... Here's the old one. Here's a new one. It's a much sharper right angle on the old one. So I think what I'm going to do is take this pipe, heat it up a little bit, and try to turn it tighter 90 degrees right there so it matches the old one. Let's see if this works. Bending, but it's creasing. All right, done with that. I'm going to clean off the old one and reuse that. Plastic, cars made out of plastic. That's the whole problem with this thing. That's the whole reason we're doing this job, is because they built a component out of plastic. Alright, not a whole lot I can do to clean out the inside. And it doesn't matter as long as it's relatively unobstructed. Let's blow some air through it. Okay, let's go with that. Alright, so here's the new guy. All right, let's just go with it. It's time to install this on the engine. All right, this is that EGR tube that was the problematic guy. That ain't quite right yet. That's looking better. Not quite over far enough here. Something seems to be obstructing it. Quite lined up right. I'm not going to be satisfied until it is. That's the gasket. That's perfectly in line where it should be. A little tight because of right here where it meets up with the alternator. Alright, I'm going to back up and try it again. quite right. And I think I'm going to loosen this alternator, get me a little space. Because, yeah, I don't really like that. I got to make sure this thing goes on correctly. It just feels a little tight in that one corner where it meets the alternator. Okay, I moved the alternator just ever so slightly to make myself a little bit more room back here. Just to fit under here. Once it's in place, I think it won't be a problem. It was giving me a fit trying to get this in. So let's try this again. Better. That's perfect. Right there is perfect. All right. Okay, so we need to be super conscious of the prescribed torquing methods, patterns as outlined for us on this convenient paper. Do not use air tools, EGR tube is in place, perfect, Babadoot. Torque all bolts in sequence as shown, begin by hand tightening, do not use air tools, haha. All bolts are retorqued to inch-pounds, do not torque bolts to foot-pounds. Well, that's fine, but I don't have an inch-pound, I got a foot-pound torque wrench. You take the inch-pounds and divide by 12, you'll have your foot-pounds. So, torque manifold in 3 passes. First pass, torque all bolts in the sequence shown to 22 inch-pounds. Alright, that's 2 foot-pounds. Second pass, torque all bolts in sequence to 44 inch-pounds. Alright, so that's 4 foot-pounds. Third pass, torque all bolts in sequence to 89 inch-pounds. You know, so it's not, I don't have an inch-pound. That's, what is that? 8 foot-pounds would be 96 inch-pounds, so just less than 8 foot-pounds. Alright, so here's our sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, I think we can do this. I think we can do this. Keep that paperwork handy for us. And middle back, 1, 2, 3, it's going to be this guy right there. Honestly, I can set these all in place. Problem is, can't reach down in here. How about needle nose pliers for help? That's a great idea. There we go. So I am simply setting them in place. There. Obviously this guy was there. goes there. All right, that's good. We begin by hand tightening. I'm just going to get them all started, right? This stud was a 10 millimeter. The rest of these 8. Alright, so they're all started, and I'm going to go inside and get my torque wrench. I'll be right back. Alright, so here's the deal. My torque wrench doesn't even go down to 2 foot-pounds, so it might go down to 4. So we're going to do our first torquing just by hand strength. We'll call that our 2 pounds. And I'm not giving it all I've got either. Just snugging it really is all I'm doing. This guy, I don't have a... I will have to use the ratchet for this guy because that's it. That's all I'll do. Am I following the right pattern? Right sequence? You watching me? Alright, so let's see now if our torque wrench will even cooperate at 4 foot-pounds. It may just laugh at us, but we'll see. That one clicked. There's 2. Three. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Alright, so what did we say it was? 8 times 12 would be 96, and it said 89. So there's 10, 9, 8. I think 8 pounds is good. Not that far off. You can turn it off. Okay, so we're going to, the new intake manifold came with the new I don't know, brake booster hose vacuum line thing. So we're going to pop that guy in. Cable here, so. That's that. And I think we're ready to put the fuel rail back in place. Fuel rail. Wrestle it a little bit. That's sitting down all the way. This one nearly is. This one was the stud. Started. Takes a nut right there. Alright, tighten those down a little bit. Don't feel any need to go nuts with it. Okay, fuel rail back in place. Let's connect the fuel injectors. Uno, dos, tres. snap in, clip in pretty easily. Okay, that's pretty good. Plug in that air hose. There. Okay. Home stretch. Think we can put this deflector shield around the EGR tube. Something like that, right? That's great. An idiot. Put it in, but didn't have a bracket on top of it. I thought something wasn't right. That's a little better. All right. We'll get the ratchet. Okay, that one's a 10 mil. Got him right here. All right, good. Now that's going to be in my way, isn't it? It's going to be in my way of putting on the, that needs to go behind here, doesn't it? All right. Now we got it. Okay. All right. I like that. I think the throttle body needs to go up next. After I take a little break. Okay, it's time to get this throttle body in place. Bracket's not doing much, is it? All right. Up there. Harder ones to get to are, of course, on the bottom. Alright. Now, when I took apart the other one, this came out stud and all, so I'm going to try to remove that from the stud because I don't need the stud. The new manifold came with the new stud, so let's see what this will do. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I have to come up with one more of these nuts somewhere. I honestly could take it off of here. It's one that's holding down this bracket for the time being. I don't think he's making a big contribution to the overall project. And I think it's probably the same size. And I could come up with another nut and bring it back. But this bracket's not that big of a deal right now, so let's borrow this nut. And let's see if we can get it down there. And he started. Good. This extension is too long. All right. Snug them up without going nuts. I don't think it needs to be that tight. That's it right there. Okay. He's on. Okay, we can plug in these vacuum lines. Good. Got some other things to connect here. Okay. That's it. We're about done, people. It is just about done. firebox going back in. So absolutely exciting. It's exciting because it means we're about done. Another thing I want to do is flush the cooling system and get some new clean coolant flowing through this guy. All right, I think that's it. I think we've got it all put back together. And we're ready to fire this up. Take it for a drive. Got the alternator back connected, and I actually still have to connect the positive battery cable over there. It's no big deal. But I think we are like truly and completely done and ready to give it a go. All right, well, she's up and running. When I first started it up, it was running pretty rough. It was running pretty rough, and in fact, the check engine light on the dash did illuminate, but it has smoothed out, and I'm thinking maybe that rough running was simply some residual coolant that had made its way down. Now it's burned off a little bit, and this is running much more smoothly. Well, I guess the real test will be take it out on the road and see how it feels. So yeah, let's give it a shot. Oh yes! Yeah, see the check engine light came on. And that's related to the rough running when we upon startup, because you remember I had the battery disconnected. So that would have reset the computer and cleared the codes with the battery disconnected. But yeah, it was pretty rough at first. And it always was, but my hope is that that roughness was caused by some of the residual coolant leaks before we did this repair job. It certainly has smoothed out. And yeah, let's take it for a little drive. Nice car, I really like it. Front seats are a little torn up, but I like the leather interior. And it really does drive nice. It's not misfiring. And we're off down the road. The 1995 Oldsmobile. 98 Regency Elite. It's running pretty good. Yeah, previously when I had the problem, the stumbling was intermittent, not constant. But I think we have done what's necessary to get this thing back running and running good again. Yep, it's nice and smooth. That's nice. Only 80,000 miles. 80,154 to be exact at this point. Okay, I'm hoping and assuming that check engine light will go off on its own. And we've got her back on the road. So that's it for today. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Buck WSR Weezer. If you got a 3800 GM like this, I'd like to hear your experiences. Please leave comments or questions, and I will look forward to seeing you again on the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.